Well, today's episode is gonna be a lot interesting for all of you. So, if you're big fans, of course, of Stardom, you guys are in the right channel. Now, as you probably know already, I was behind on some of the much recent events for the month of May. So, I finally catched up to it. So, we're gonna be reviewing all five of them from Nagano, Toyama, the Korakuen Hall show, Osaka, and Kyoto. So we're going to do all of them from A to Z on this one. So bear with me, boys and girls. And then, of course, as always, we'll cap up our episode with some news updates to give you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are thrown out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of pro wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK. Anywhere in the world pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-time news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, enough with the yapping, so let it begin. So as I said before, caught up with every last Stardom show from the month of May. So let's begin with the one in Nagano. Okay, Stardom in Nagano at the Nagano uh, ARC, something like that anyway. This took place back on May 17th. It opened up with Yuri Him, the rookie, taking on Yuna Mizumori. Now, of course, for those who probably would say this is not a surprising match how this was going to go, because of course Yuna Mizumori was going to win this match because she has more experience than Yuri Him. So as you know, she debuted about a couple of months ago, so it would make sense that goes. So it was, but Yuna Mizumori picked up the win by a submission, and just like that, Yuri Him had no choice but to tap out. Next up, we had a three-way trios match. I think, yes, trios match. Team number one, we have God's Eye, consistent of Rana Yagami, Tomoka Inaba, and Hina, versus Cosmic Angels, Aya Sakura, Sayuri Anu, and Natsupoi, versus Hate, consistent of Natsuko Tora, Azusa Inaba, and Saya Kamitani. Now, of course, when it comes to these type of matches, you don't know what to expect. I mean, I felt bad for the ref because he has to pay attention. There's three teams in this, and they're all trios, and it's a bit of a habit. But don't forget, when it comes to Hate, you all know that Hate will try to play dirty. But what's interesting is that this match ended with Azusa Inaba picking up the win on Hina. So basically, she picked up the winner team. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Azusa Inaba decides to cash in her opportunity for the future of Stardom Championship that Hina currently has. So basically, I wouldn't be surprised on that. It could happen possibly in the next New Blood show, but we'll see how that rolls up from there. Next up, we have Raka taking on Akira Kuragane. Nothing too special, but of course, much like what we saw with Yoda Him, we've probably expected, of course, with Raka picking up the win, which was no surprise to me. She applied a freezer bomb on her, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, over. Next up, we have what's left of stars, consistent of Momo Koko, Saya Ida, and Hanan, taking on God's Eyes, Lady C, Saki Kashima, and Shuri. Now, of course, many of us are questioning about Stars in its current status. As you know, Mayu Iwatani, not too long ago, she left Stardom and went to Mighty Gold. And of course, Azuki and Koguma decided to leave Stars. They're currently working as a tag team no matter where they go. But we don't know exactly what Hana's going to do. I wouldn't be surprised if she stepped up to lead, which some people said over time. But I think this is where she's put to the test, knowing she's facing against a team that already has a leader better than her, But unfortunately, this match ended with Shuri applying a submission move on Hanan, and of course, Hanan tapped out. But during the post-match, Shuri said some words of encouragement to Hanan because, of course, it's no secret that Shuri, as you all know, as a former member of DDM, she made the choice to leave. And Julia told her that being a leader is not easy. And I'm sure Shuri sees that in her, knowing that if you're going to step up as the leader, it's not going to be that easy. No one could ever fill the shoes of Mayu Iwatani. But if I was Hanan, I try to do something different away from what Mayu did before. So hopefully that works. But we'll see what happens. Our next match, we have a trios match. We have Hate members Fukigen Def, Rina, and Konami taking on FWC, Koguma, and Azuki, and they team up with Zuzu Suzuki. So, of course, when it comes to the dirty tactics with Hate, you know that it's going to be insane, no matter what they try to throw at them. But, unfortunately, this match ended with, of course, Zuzu applying the tequila shot onto Fukigen Def, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. So Zuzu picked up the win along with FWC. And as for our last match, we have, of course, EXV consistent of Rian, Hanako, and Waka taking on Neo Genesis, Mei Seira, Miyu, and Nia Masaki and Starlight Kid. Hold on a second. Bueno. Okay. I haven't checked out. I'll look. Okay. 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 Bye. Sorry about that. Anyway, so we have EXV, Rian, Hanako, and Waka Tsukiyama taking on Neo Genesis, Mei Seira, Miyu Amasaki, and Starlight Kid. Now, this is interesting. For those who know, Neo Genesis are currently EXV are in fact in a position where, okay, Micah is out of commission. Mina left, went to the U.S. So now they have to step up a game just a little bit. But they're facing a team that has so far been find success in every way possible. So how do you pull that up? Well, you probably don't. But this also, and if you guys don't know, it's a preliminary match for the upcoming Wonder of Stardom Championship that took place on the 21st of May. Now, we will review that one, but let's get to this one. Now, of course, Hanako, as you know, is the much bigger individual. In some cases, her size would have been the factor that could have allowed her to pick up momentum for their upcoming match. But in the end, it was May who picked up the win with the Rolling Star on Rian. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, Neo Genesis picked up the win. And of course, we did have a post-match promo between both Starlight Kid and Hanako. As you know, they will be facing each other at Korakuen Hall, which I will review a little bit. And of course, we have May talking to Rian. I don't know if it's because of her upcoming match taking place and on 31st for the Natsu and Sayori Anu 10th anniversary show. But we'll see. But as of right now, we're done with this one. Let's keep continuing on with more with Stardom, and I believe we're doing the one in Toyama. Okay, as we continue with more of Stardom, we're now in Toyama, and this took place on the 18th of May. Yeah. So we opened up with God's Eye, consistent of Rana Yagami, Tomoka Inaba, and Lady C, taking on the Cosmic Angels, Sayaka Kurara, Aya Sakura, and Yuna Mizumori. Now, nothing too special about this match in any way possible, but it was a pretty good one because, as you know, we have seen in the Cosmic Angel sides, all three ladies have really do have a good cohesion in every way possible. But in the God's Eye, we have seen them cooperate very well amongst each other as well. But in the end, it was Tomoka Inaba with the Michinoku driver on Kurara, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next up, we have singles action. We have Fukigen Death taking on Waka Tsukiyama. Now, this is a very interesting matchup because, as you know, Fukigen Death has been known to be one of the most impressive high speedsters. You know, she can try to pick up the win by always outmaneuvering her opponent. But this time she was unable to outmaneuver against Waka because she applied the same move that she used on Nana Takahashi back in 2024, I believe, or was it, no, 2023, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. But if I was Waka, skedaddle, because I know Fukigen Death would definitely try to get pissed off. Next up, we have Rian teaming up with the Cosmic Angel members, Sayori Anu and Natsupoi, taking on God's Eyes, Hina, Saki Kashima, and Suri. Now, for those who probably ask yourselves, why is Rian teaming up with Natsupoi and Sayori Anu? Well, if those who do know, Rian will be teaming up with one of Natsupoi's teachers, Kairo Itu, in the 10th anniversary teacher and discipline. Basically, it's one of those moments, and Rian was requested to be part of that match. And of course, because it was being booked by both Sayori Anu and Natsupoi, they granted it. So it's a good learning curve for her to learn with Natsupoi and Sayori Anu. But the real question is how she will do. I mean, I have to say she did a pretty good job, but she had to face against Kashima until Kashima put her knee strike onto her, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next up, we have the members of Hate, consistent of Arena, Raka Konami taking on Yurihim, and the members of Mi Vida Loca, Akira Korogani, and Suzuki. Nothing too special about this one in any way possible, but once again, with the usual hate tactics we have seen over time, it's always been the play. But in the end, it was Konami with a buzzsaw kick onto Kurugani, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, over. Next up, we have FWC team Koguma Nazuki teaming up with Hanako to take on Neo Genesis, Miyu Amasaki, Mei Seira, and Starlight Kid. Now, you may all think this is another preliminary match involving Hanako and Starlight Kid for their upcoming white belt match, and it kind of did. But however, Hanako was able to pick up another fantastic win by a submission onto Starlight Kid, and just like that, so the momentum goes to her. And of course, a bit of a pro match promo for Hanako, as you probably think Hanako always relied on her size and strength, but Starlight Kid says, "Hey, I faced bigger opponents than you," so basically Starlight Kid feels confident that she can overcome it. But Hanako doesn't believe that Starlight Kid is that confident, that she knows she could lose to her. But we'll see when that day happens. Now, our main event, we have the members of Stars, Momokoko, Saya Ida, and Hanan taking on Hate members Azusa Inaba, Natsuko Tora, and Sayakami Tani. Now, as always, you probably would think, I'm sure Hate are indulging themselves knowing too well that stars are not what it used to be anymore. I mean, Mayu's gone, Hanako and Koguma and Ozuki left willingly because they haven't stars hasn't been the same since Mayu left. You probably can guess that drill. But I wasn't too sure where this is gonna go. But as usual with the hate tactic, that's always been a play. But in the end, it was Kamitani with the Star Crusher on Hanan, and just like that, 1, 2, 3 is over. Now, keep in mind, Hanan is a goddess. She's a tag team champion with Saida. I wouldn't be surprised if she cashed in an opportunity. But I don't know what she said to her during the post-match promo. I'm sure she had some. Kamitani acts like she thinks that her word is exactly what it is, because she speaks the truth, regardless. But we don't know. But as of right now, I think we are done with this one with Stardom with Toyama. Let's move on with the Korakuen Hall show. Nighter in Korakuen Hall. Okay, we continue with more with Stardom in Nighter in Korakuen. This took place back on the 21st of May. We opened up with, of course, the first two matches with the debut of brand new rookies making their debut. Azumi takes on Emma Maishima. She's one of the two rookies that made their presence known recently. I thought the match was pretty good. Not the best one, but pretty good. Not to be honest. But I figured that this match was, in fact, a very interesting opener. Nothing too special about Emma Maishima, but I kind of figured this match was going to end with Azumi applying the Azumi Sushi, which she did. However, in the second match, which of course was the debut of Kikyo Furusawa against Hanan, I have to say this match was impressive. Uh, man, she was like really, really trying to apply some submission tactics in this one. And she really blew me away. And I saw people talking about her on social media. I'm like, wow, she's really impressive, not gonna lie. But as always, this match was gonna end with Hanan, and she applied a Boston Crab, and just like that, it was over. But I have to say, um, Furuzawa is in fact one of those wrestlers right now, and she is now in my radar. But if I have to pick a team for her that she will probably go in the future, I would say she fits in the same kind of parameters as God's Eye, but there's too many members. But you may never know. So we'll see how that plays out. Our next match, speaking of God's Eye, we have Kiyoka Kotatsu, Rane Yagami, Tomoka Inaba, and Saki Kashima taking on Yuri Him, Akira Kuragani, and they team up with FWC, Koguma and Ozuki. Now, there is one thing that one person in God's Eye cannot stand. Oh, that's right. Rane Yagami cannot stand the Kuma pose. It drives her crazy. I mean, she's like, nope, nope, I don't want to do that. And guess what? Well, it came back again to haunt her. It's like the one thing she cannot. It's like she can't escape a ghost or the plague. I don't know how it is, but once again, Koguma, Ozuki, along with Yuria and Kuragani, they put the Kuma pose on them. So I thought it was hilarious. I mean, thank God Shuri was there, because that's the last thing she needs. She can't stand it. Because the last time she had to watch her team being posed that way. But yeah. But in the end, it was, of course, Tomoka Inaba with the Michinoku driver onto Yuri Him. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next up, we have a combination of two different teams. Neo Genesis, consistent of Miyu Amasaki and Mei Sita. As you probably know, Azumi had her match earlier, and Starlight Kid is in the main event. They team up with star members Momo, Kogo, and Saida. As you probably know, Hanan had her match. They face against Hate, consisting of Fukigen Def, Azusa Inaba, Natsuko Tora, and Sayakami Tani. So of course you probably can guess how this was going to be. I mean, of course there were going to be some dirty tactics coming from, of course, hate as always. But in the end, it was Natsuko Tora with a body splash onto Amasaki, and just like that, it was over. Now, here's the thing that kind of troubles me here. For those who do know, Amasaki, Starlight Kid, and Azumi, they are the current artist champions. Um, Basically, members of what's their name of Hate, as you know, already have their dibs on their upcoming championship for the artist belts, and there's gonna be a number one contender. I wouldn't be surprised if Natsuko Tora will team up with two others. If, of course, these members of Hate failed, then they'll step up. But you may never know. So, hold on a second. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah. Now, continuing on, we have the Cosmic Angels, consistent of Sayaka Kara, Aya Sakura, and Yuna Mizumori, taking on God's Eye, consistent of who was Hina, Lady C, and Shuri. Nothing too special about this match in any way. One thing that was, well, I can tell you this one ended with, what's her name? Hina applying the ghetto clutch onto Kurara. So I'm sure Kurara probably would have had the opportunity to pin Hina and get an opportunity of the future belt, but well, that did not happen. Now, next match we have Rian and Waka of EXV taking on the other members of Cosmic Angels, mostly Sayori Anu and Natsupoi. So of course, they were going to see some interesting moments, but keep in mind, I'm sure this would put Rian in a very interesting test, since of course Natsupoi and Sayori Anu put her in the she requested to be in that match in their 10th anniversary, but it was in fact Sayori Anu? No, Natsupoi with the real fairy gift onto Rian that picked up the win onto Rian, and just like that, it was over. But I'm sure this is one of those lessons she has to learn, knowing that you're teaming up with a legend, and of course an instructor that Natsupoi has hold dear in her heart. But we'll see how that plays out. Now, our next match is a number one contenders for the Artist Championships. Now, this particular match happened because, of course, Rina, Raka, and Konami took the belts and they declared themselves as the challengers. But when they reclaimed the belts back, of course, they were demanding they get a match for this. But however, the members of Mi Vida Loca, consisting of Zuzu, Aoki, and Yamashita, they decided they want to do it. So there was going to be a number one contendership. However, this match ended in a double countout after what? 15 minutes and 50 seconds. So basically, it was a double countout from both sides. However, Azumi and what's her name, Miyu Amasaki, decided to lay down the law. So the idea, what they decided, let's do a three-way elimination match. So, but they were gonna they actually did have the artist belts on the line. So of course, nothing changes that. But the elimination match, that's where tense will happen, but we'll see. Now, our main event, we have the Wonder of Stardom Championship, aka the white belt, Hanako versus Starlight Kid. Now, Hanako was the one who requested this belt right away. She's been mostly using her size in order to get what she wants. I mean, of course, her size is a weapon, but not to mention Starlight Kid. Doesn't back down from anybody. I mean, she did told Hanako, I have faced bigger opponents than you. So that's nothing new to her. But the real question I think we all ask ourselves, can Starlight Kid put her away? And surprise, surprise, she did when she applied the Black Tiger leg killer, and just like that, she won by submission. And of course, she did give a little post-match promo, said something to Hanako. I'm not sure what she said. But luckily, no challenger has been made. But we'll see what happens down the road with her. So we are officially done with this one with Stardom. Let's move on with the next one with Stardom, and I believe it's the one in Osaka. So let's do that. continue on with more with Stardom, and this time they're in Osaka at the Adion Arena, Osaka number 2, and this took place on the 24th of May, so we're not that far off from that. It opened up with uh, Kikyo Furuzawa and teaming up with the members of God's Eye, more specifically Tomoka Inaba and Hina. They take on the members of Stars, Momokogo and Saida and Hana. Now, we have seen, I mentioned this before, Furuzawa was very impressive. And once again, she continued to impress me. I was so surprised about how she was handling things. But unfortunately, she ended up losing to Momokogo when she applied the Nectar Peach on her. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, done. Next up, we have singles action. We have Yuria Him versus Mei Seira. Now, of course, this is going to be a very interesting match because Mei Seira, as you know, she's a high speedster, and I don't think Yuria Him can handle her type of speed. But the one thing that is more deadly when it comes to her in Mei Seira's arsenal is her drop kicks. I mean, she's willing to put you down and out for the count, and that's exactly what she did. So she used that, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, over. Next up, we have the other rookie, Emma Maishima, teaming up with the Cosmic Angels, more specifically Sayakura and Aya Sakura. They take on Akira Kuragani, FWC, Koguma, and Azuki. Nothing too special about this one, as you know. But, of course, the one thing is the weakest link has to be, of course, Emma, is probably because she is the least experienced. But in the end, it was Koguma who initiated that as an exploitment when she put away her in a sleeper hold, and just like that, it was over. Emma had no choice but to tap out. Next up, we have God's Eye members, more specifically Rane Agami, Lady C, Saki Kashima, and Shuri, taking on Hate members Fukigen Death, Azusa Inaba, Natsuko Tora, and Sayakami Tani. Now, when it comes to Hate, we all know that they like to play dirty tactics every single time. But, however, of course, certain moments you probably can guess is Lady C dealing with Kamitani. Don't forget, these two used to be members of Queen's Quest until, of course, whatever. Azumi always will believe that Kamitani set the whole thing up out of nowhere. But in the end, it was Lady C who picked up the win when she applied a choke slam onto Fukigen Death, and just like that, 1, 2, 3 was over. And of course, those who do know, Kashima is not very fond of Lady C, so C tried to hug her, but she's like, nope. But yeah, so that's how it ends. Next up, we have EXV members, all of them, Rian, Hanako, and Waka, taking on the Cosmic Angels, Yuna Mizumori, Sayuri Anu, and Natsupoi. Nothing too special on this one, but of course, Rian, as you know, she's been on lessons learning until her upcoming match at the 10th anniversary of Sayuri Anu and Natsupoi. But in the end, she had to learn that lesson against Sayuri Anu when she applied, of course, a German suplex, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, our main event is for the Artists of Stardom Championship in a 3-way elimination match. So you can win either by pinfall, submission, or over the top, that sort of thing. Now, we have, of course, representing Hate, Rina Raka Konami versus Mi Vida Loca, consisting of Izuki Aoki, Rina Yamashita, and Suzuki, taking on the champions, Neo Genesis, Miyu Hamasaki, Azumi, and Starlight Kid. Now, this match happened because, of course, Hate has been trying to persuade them to give them the title match, but Mi Vida Loca, as you know, led by Zuzu, former member of Neo Genesis, well, she wanted to take a shot at that. So in the end, there was in the Korakuen Hall event, they were supposed to be a number 1 contender, but it ended in a double countout. Azumi presumed maybe let's do this into a 3-way, but this is exactly how the elimination actually went down. Azumi eliminates Konami, and then of course Izuki Aoki eliminates Azumi, but it was Rina who eliminates Aoki herself. But Starlight Kid, along with Miyu Hamasaki, they'll eliminate both Rina and Rina Yamashita at the same time. But Raka made the next 2 eliminations herself when she eliminated both Starlight Kid and then later Suzuki individually. But it landed on Miyu Amasaki versus Raka. So this is one of those moments where, of course, someone has to win. But in the end, it was, of course, Amasaki that was able to pick up the win onto Raka with her infamous pin. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, the Neo Genesis retained the belt. And of course, you probably can guess, Neo Genesis are now the strongest unit. Not only that, because they have the artist belts. Starlight Kid is of course, the white belt champion. Azumi, the New Japan Strong Women's champion, and Maesera is the high speed champion. That leaves, of course, Amasaki with just 1 championship, but it doesn't matter. At least she gets to hold it. So that pretty much sets it up right there. So we'll see how Neo Genesis will move forward. There's still no indication if they ever will find someone to join them, because these guys are part of the same generation. But we'll see what happens. So right now, let's move on to our last and final review with Stardom, and I believe this one's in Kyoto. All right, last review with Stardom, and this one's at Kyoto at the KBS Hall. Very awesome venue. If you guys ever seen it, it has like this glass little Mario thing in the background, something similar to the Notre Dame in France. But yes, that sort of thing. We opened up with, of course, Emma Maishima teaming up with the Cosmic Angels with Aya Sakura and Yuna Mizumori taking on Hate members Azusa Inaba, Rina, and Sayaka Mitani. Now, before I proceed anything else, as you guys probably already can guess right about now, neither Natsupoi, Kurara, or Sayudano were present in this event. Kurara and Natsupoi were present at another event. As for Sayudano, I'm not sure where she was, but yes. But this match, I have to say, was very interesting because there was a good moment when it came to, of course, what's her name? Yuna Mizumori stood toe-to-toe against Kamitani. I'm sure Kamitani, as you know, likes to taunt people, but I'm sure Mizumori still hasn't forgotten what Kamitani did to Tam, forcing her to retire. But in the end, of course, it was the weakest link of the group that ended up losing up, and that was, of course, Emma Maishima, who was not affiliated with the Cosmic Angels, but she was the one who suffered the wrath of Rina with the double diving knee drop, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was done. Next up, we have Waka Tsukiyama. She teams up with God's Eye members Tomoka Inaba and Saki Kashima. They take on Kikyo Furusawa, and she teams up with the members of Stars, more specifically Momo Kogo and Hanan. Nothing too special, but the one thing I sure that Furusawa was not expecting, for those who don't know, the last thing you need is getting your chest all red up with the chops that Iida does. I mean, Yuri Him had to suffer that, and various others, but she ended up in that position. But in the end, it was Kashima that was able to pick up the win after, of course, Tomoka Inaba kind of picked her up and slammed her down onto Furusawa. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. oh my God, Kashima, she is a thing of beauty. But what's also interesting, it was in the post-match. Now, if you guys remember, I mentioned in the last review of Stardom that there was a part of me that think that Kikyo Furusawa is like a perfect fit for God's Eye. Well, guess who invited her to decide that decision? Like saying that she would love to see her in God's Eye. Kashima was the one who kind of put it out there for her. I'm like, wow. And I think she sees a lot of potential in her. I mean, look, we can all agree that Kashima is nothing compared like the others, you know, where they're all about fighting. But, of course, Shuri knows it too well. She knows Kashima, she may be strong, but she's also very reliable in some sense. I mean, she's like that one person that, you know, she could, like, have you ever seen the movie Forrest Gump, how football team at some college university just recruited him. They just recruited him because he was fast. He may be dumb as hell, but he is one fastest son of a bitch. So basically, yeah, think of Kashima like that. But seeing that Furuzawa be a member of God's Eye, that's something I'm sure many people could consider. But in the end, that's Furuzawa's choice, what she's going to do. So we'll see what happens from there. Now, our next match, we have Hate members. We have Raka and Konami taking on Yurihim and Saida. Nothing too special about this one, but of course, when it comes to Hate, we all know, of course, that they like to cheat. But in the end, it was Raka with a choke powerbomb onto Yurihim, and just like that, it was over. Next up, we have Vida Loca, consisting of Kira Kuragani and Suzuki, taking on FWC, Koguma, and Azuki. Of course, there was going to be some good factors when it comes. Now, keep in mind, Koguma and Azuki are a very well-established tag team. I mean, these two ladies know way back during their times, during their dojo days with Stardom. And of course, teaming up, winning the Goddesses Tag League and various others, they were going to be the strongest team. And of course, the weakest link had to be, of course, Kuragani, because it was Azuki who picked up the win with the senton, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next up, we have a bit of a showdown between members of EXV, Rian and Hanako. Now, this is a perfect test for Rian to face up against someone like Hanako, because Hanako may be a big individual, but Rian has to understand sometimes people like her, they do have a weakness, even if they don't see it. But of course, in the end, Hanako picked up the win when she applied the JP coaster onto her. Now, I don't know what Hanako said to her during the post-match promo, but I'm sure she gives her some words of encouragement for her upcoming match on the 31st. And of course, Rian said some words. But what I failed to mention, people were behind Rian on this match instead of Hanako, because Hanako's hometown is in Kyoto, so that's why. But it's interesting. Now, our main event, we have Neo Genesis, consistent of all 4 members: Meiseda, Miyu Masaki, Azumi, Starlight Kid, taking on God's Eye members Rana Yagami, Lady C, Hina, and Shuri. It's interesting in this match because we do see some connections coming up on this one. If you guys remember, Azumi and Miyu Masaki, they once again stand right across against their former team, Queen's Quest teammates, Lady C and Hina. So that kind of sets it up right there. But in the end, it was Amasaki, as you know, who made the critical pinfall with the Tenzai onto Lady C, her former teammate, and just like that, it was over. Just 1, 2, 3. And then, of course, closing up the show is Neo Genesis. Since now we can establish that they're right now at this current state, they are the strongest unit in Stardom. So they have the artist belts, they have 3 other belts in their possession. So we'll see where that goes from there. But as of right now, we are officially done with all our Stardom events. Let's move on with our last and final thing, news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news updates. As always, let's begin with upcoming events with the promotions. As you know, we have the upcoming collaboration between Prestige Wrestling, West Coast Pro, and Deadlock Pro Wrestling with United on the 1st of June. It was announced a tag team match has been booked. We have Matt Tremont teaming up with Jake Something, taking on Adam Priest and Mad Dog Connolly. And then on the 7th of June, House of Glory with their upcoming event, Puerto Rican Weekend, they announced, of course, the debut of Marcus Mathers. So yes, so he'll be participating. Deadlock Pro Wrestling has announced for an upcoming new show that will take place on the 15th of June called Victory Lap. No announcement has been made who will participate or what matches will be announced, but I'll keep you guys apprised of that. And then, of course, on the 18th of June, we have DEFY Wrestling with Vortex Cedric Alexander will take on Starboy Charlie. French promotion, Banger Zone Wrestling, for the can't pronounce it right, for the event that will take place on the 5th. They announced that Angle and Blanc will be taking on Ninja Mac, so that's going to be interesting. And then finally, JCW will have the 4th of July event that will take place on the 6th of July. The GCW Ultraviolet Championship, Matt Tremont will be defending his belt against Mad Dog Connolly. So that's pretty much what we do know. Now up to our developments here. Many of you may have heard now that NWA has a brand new, has been building up territories, but at the same time they were also establishing championships. And one of these territories is in Texas. They announced the Texas Championship being established. I'm not sure exactly who's going to participate. I'm sure there's going to be a tournament regarding about that one. As you probably may have heard, Worlds Collide, they just announced that TNA talent will now be officially participating in this one. So it's not just going to be TNA, AAA wrestlers and WWE wrestlers, and of course it's now TNA. Now some people speculate, especially Fightful Select, that they're trying to build like their own version of Forbidden Door. Like this could be that it. I mean, and it's interesting that that's been mentioned. So, but not to mention this is coinciding on their upcoming event in for the AEW at Grand Slam Mexico. So we'll see where that goes. They haven't announced what matches, but we'll stay tuned for that. And as for our final development, Willow Nightingale actually spoke out about interesting wrestling Dakota Kai, and this is what she had to say, and this is what she mentioned to Gabby AF. I was a big fan of her wrestler who went by the name Evie for years and years and years. I believe some people might know her by the name King Coda, but I know Team Kick with Evie. I never had an opportunity to wrestle her because she was off somewhere else. I had opportunities to get to Shimmer. I'm rooting for her and to land on her feet wherever she goes. Everybody else, I'm rooting for them to land on their feet because I know how this business is. But that is the makes a fangirl inside of me like, oh, how about that? Oh, that would be fun. So it's like she's saying that she would love to wrestle Dakota Kai. It's still unclear what name she'll go by now, but we do know recently Wrestling Observer has reported that WWE believed that she might go to AEW. But we do know before that AEW were having a conversation with her before she made her return to WWE. It's still unclear what's going to happen from there, but we'll stay tuned for that as we go. But I'm sure many of you will love to see her, Dakota Kai, in WWE. Don't know for sure what name they'll give her, but I'm sure Will get her dream come true to have a match against her, and a girl can hope, right, guys? So, we'll see what happens. But as of right now, let's call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this. I hope you guys give some congratulations to Konosuke Takeshita and Yuka Sakazaki on their social media. I know I have. But nonetheless, stay tuned for our next episode, which features, of course, NXT and New Japan, as we get critical now with the upcoming Best of the Super Juniors. Now, if I do have time, I still haven't decided yet. I am considering doing the Hana Kimura Memorial Show, Hanabi, I think that's the name. This took place on the 23rd of May, which is the anniversary of Hana Kimura's passing. As you all know, she passed away back on May 23rd, 2020, which was a tragic loss for all of us, and we all remember her. But let's see what happens. If I do it, good for me. If not, I apologize. So let's keep this moving. So as of right now, I'll see you guys next time. So I must bid all of you adieu, goodbye, and have a nice day. Bang.